Hi guys, I am doing a video for you today on how do energy healings work. So this is like, you know, I've tuned in for you as well through the source of creation because I really wanted to get like a deeper understanding of how things work and how they affect you, and yeah, like on an energetic point of view. So the first thing that I was drawn to share was like setting boundaries. But it was more around protecting your being, like energetically, but also it can affect the way like we feel, like in our physical being. So, and what happens is you're protecting yourself from other people's energies and all their thoughts, like unintentional. It really comes down to, I guess, awareness and evolving as a soul and realizing that you are like have the ability to be impervious to all this stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you, like, and I have got like a daily ritual that you could do. It's more like a guided healing meditation, and it's literally 3 to 4 minutes. It sounds beautiful, and like it's just clearing your energy field, protecting it, but also doing like little healings as well, like of your systems and other stuff through the source of creation. So and I've noticed, like for myself, I've really noticed a shift with doing that, of how like I'm affected even like with situations that usually might upset me and shift my energy. Like my energy just stays stable. It's so cool. Like you just have to experience that for yourself. And it's really important if you're doing psychic work, sorry about all the road noise, psychic work or like healing work or anything like that. It's really important, I feel, to do that. Increase energy. So yeah, that's another thing that happens with like the healing modality that I do. So it increases your energy. So that comes through the source of creation. So it's only the highest vibration and loving energy that you could receive. And you also get other things, like, because it's really about intention and like, you know, what I'm intending as a healer to give you. So not just healing like you know, on a physical level, but also like an entire being, like bringing in like an awareness shift and also like new belief systems, and it all happens like effortlessly and seamlessly, and like, so it's not like there's a huge, like, you don't feel interrupted or what's the word, like there's no negative impact around it. Like it's just, it's you, it's something that was always there, and it's like this huge veil has been lifted, like all this negative crap like has just been shifted from you, because you were always like this beautiful shining light. And it's just like through life experiences, like this life, past life, and also like you know, on a soul level and through your ancestral DNA, that things can happen, and you've made beliefs around them or had perceptions around them that have affected you. So it's about shifting like the negative ones and allowing you to just shine. So yeah, so it also heals ancestral DNA. So it heals on the DNA level. So there's like lots of teeth stories with theta healing, and it's actually what made me do, like one of the main things that made me do theta healing to begin with, is that this little girl didn't have her teeth. Like she was missing her front tooth. I think it was one of them. It just didn't have the adult tooth there. So and I'm just getting that it's a genetic abnormality on her genetic line, and like I think her auntie had done theta healing, and she had just requested that she get a tooth, and she ended up getting a tooth through. So and what I want to say, if you ever do theta healing or something similar, that always trust that the result will be perfect and as it should be. So like, don't allow doubt or anything to get in there, or try and force healing. So I just want to like mention that if you are a healer or thinking of doing, you know, some sort of healing modality. Yeah, so my stuff is a little bit different to theta healing now, because you know, when you do start things, like you learn and you grow, and you know, you have your own strong intuition, and you go with what like feels right for you, and it might not be exactly what you've learned anymore. It just evolves, because you know, you've probably had so many experiences before as a soul, so you've got like this inner knowing already, and your own connection to source, which is always there for you. So I feel like what I'm being drawn to share as well, like it can shift like repetitive ancestral patterns. So like I'm getting it similar to DNA, but it's like sort of like is belief systems, and like things can be just like repeating. Like when I look at my mum's life or my dad's, like I can see similarities in the way that they act around things. Like not everything, like, but you know, like I can acknowledge that, and I see it as something that I want to shift and change in myself. And so now I've identified that it's like an ancestral thing, and like I know that that's like a big part of my journey in this lifetime, to shift and heal a lot of ancestral patterns, and also like heal DNA. And the other thing is about the gap in the tooth, and it was really funny, like I can't even remember why this came up. Like I think I was doing like a theta healing session with somebody that I'd paid for, and it came up about the gap in my teeth, and we went back through time because it came about, this genetic abnormality, because there was a wish made by my ancestor, and I saw him lying on his deathbed, because back then if you had a gap in your teeth, it meant that you were destined for like greatness and prosperity, right? So he's made this wish, so it's created something in the genetics. And then we went through to the first ancestor that ever had the gap, and then I went to the point in time where he died. And like, because at the time I'm thinking to myself, what, like I didn't understand what was coming through, because I didn't understand how it was related to prosperity and like safety and all that sort of stuff. So that was really funny. And then after the session, I remembered that mum always used to tell me, because obviously this is something that like her mum used to tell her, because that's the genetic line where the gap in the teeth came from, that, you know, rich people have gaps in their teeth. And I remember she always used to say this to me, because like Madonna's got it and like whatever. Really funny how like that was passed down through the generations, and it was something that was told to all the generations about it. So I've done a healing on that now, so that's like something that's like shifted that DNA for future generations. So that was done after Lenny was born, and he's got a little gap. But honestly, I don't even mind gaps. Like, I've come to peace with it now. The other thing I wanted to bring up is the energetic blocks that can occur over time in the chakra system. They're like caused by, you know, repetitive thinking, like, you know, in a negative way. You know, just like negative vibes, like negative feelings, negative thoughts, like holding on to resentments, guilt, trauma. So with the meditation, like that chakra meditation that I've got, I'm Ready to Thrive, like that removes those and like clears out all the negative energy, heals the chakras, realigns them, like centers them, because they can get like out of alignment, like with your spine, and then like all the center of your body, and then also balancing them. So, you know, you might have one that's like too open, so it just like puts them, like balances them back to perfection, because that's really important to have them all in balance, because then they're flowing effortlessly, the energy is flowing in and out effortlessly, and like you just feel better, you feel more in balance, you're able to cope with life so much more effortlessly and gracefully. So like, yeah, like you'll be able to cope with maybe a situation where before it would have like upset you, or you might have acted like angrily, or whatever your normal reaction would be, but instead you'll be able to like see things from a higher perspective, and also like be more balanced in your approach. So we got physical healing that I haven't addressed. So like with the physical healing, so I've got the guided healing meditation, I'm Ready to Heal. So and included in that is a regression. So it takes you back, like, and source is always with you, like you are totally safe and nurtured, like whatever you need is there for you, your guides, your angels, whatever. And you are taken back to the most important time that is going to help you shift whatever it is that you're wanting to heal in yourself. And then we bring in source to heal, like on the cellular DNA level, and that in itself can shift the mind and shift like belief systems. But we do go through then and bring in belief systems around healing and knowing that it's safe and possible, and lots of other ones. And in the healing one as well, I go through all the systems of the body and the chakras and other things, like just to bring you back to like a perfect state of being and feeling really awesome. Yeah, and the main thing about these healings is like, so how it works, like bringing in the energy to feel like heal something physical, it's about acknowledging that we are energetic beings having a physical reality. So like, I hope that resonates with you. I'm trusting that if you're here watching this, like that's something that you're ready to awaken to, or that you're already aware of. So it's really about like, it's healing, and it becomes visible in your physical being. So we're healing all the energetics and healing like your physical being with the energy through source of creation. So like there was a time where I asked to like see what was going on when I requested a healing, and like stuff starts instantly, and I'd sort of forgotten that I'd asked. And because like I never had vision from the start, there was a huge block with even visualizing and it was from past lives and ancestral. So, and even like my knowing, like my, you know, what people would call your intuition or whatever, but that had a bit of a screen over it as well, because like there was trauma from past lives and stuff there that needed to shift. And also just, it's really about just trusting and stuff, and it just awakens if the more you trust it, and trust that it's possible. So yeah, and if you're like, oh, I don't have that, and then you just keep saying you don't have that, well then that's what you have, you don't have that. So anyway, getting back to the story. So yeah, then I, like, every time I did a healing on myself, I would, like, just all this stuff started happening. Like my ancestors would come in and angels would come in and just start doing all these healings on me, and I was like, oh wow, like this is intense. So I just had to, like, obviously it's beautiful and it's lovely, but like to see that, I just was like, okay, like I don't need to see this anymore, because like it was just so much going on in my mind, if that makes sense. Because like there's a lot that happens, like it's like they're fine-tuning you, they're removing all this stuff, they're bringing in all this good stuff. Like yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it's just and also what's really important with healings and any healing modality is trusting that it has happened, that it is complete, because that's what gives it the power. Your trust, your belief, like you're believing it has happened, so it becomes. But what I've also included with you, so it does happen, but I guess what's the clarity around that? Okay, so because like obviously, like I've healed many things, right? Some things have healed like that, didn't give them a second thought, did the healing, never thought of it again, because it was something that wasn't in my face all the time, if that makes sense. So you're not thinking about it all the time, and it would just go effortlessly. So 2 examples are, I had this rash on my hip bone, like this big. It had been there for a year or so, and one day I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do a healing on this, and then I never thought about it again. Next time I thought about it, it wasn't there anymore, it had completely gone. Also, I had these like bunions that I got from a pair of shoes, like just because they were just real slippery shoes, and I had to keep grasping, I think, with my big toes, and underneath both my big toes, this, like, I don't know if you call it a bunion or whatever, it had grown, and it just never went away, and that stayed there for like over a year as well, or more. And it was actually really painful to walk on them, like without shoes on, like on hard surfaces, because it like stuck out. Anyway, so I did a healing on that, and it disappeared. Those bunions disappeared, and I've never had them come back. Yeah, and those were super easy, and I've had heaps of super easy ones, but I'm not gonna lie and say everything has been super easy. Like so that's why I've included like this. I want to share like what I know with you. So basically what just came through, like for clarification around that, is because you are healing, and it's just like with your manifestation, when you're creating something with your mind, like, or you're manifesting something, or you want to achieve something, like, or you know, like when you're doing a manifestation, like if you're asking for it, or like you visualize it, trusting that it's coming, as soon as you start doubting that, it begins to unfold, is what came through. So it is always, there's no doubt, like you don't have to worry. So let's bring in like trusting around your any healings that you've ever had, like bringing that energy of trust and releasing like any doubt that you might have. So comment yes if you'd like to receive that in the comments. Yeah, so that's why, like, you can do, I've done trust in your miracle, or trust your miracle. And it's like a booster to healings. So you're always trusting, and we also bring in new energy for you. Like, it's not just like that. It's got other stuff to boost your energy, protect you, and other things to listen to daily until you're like, it is complete. So you're gonna know within yourself whether that's something you need to do for your healing, or if it's a healing that you can just trust. I had a friend do a healing on me. She does like a totally different style, like it's sort of like Reiki, like intuitive Reiki, but she also uses like oils and crystals and stuff. And we had like an intention set on like what we wanted to heal within me, and then like it was still hurting, like, you know, the next week or whatever. So obviously, like, I've tuned in, I'm like, why is this still hurting? And I just got that I didn't really trust in her healing like enough, because obviously like it was different to what I do. So then, and I didn't, back then I didn't really understand the mechanics around healings and what, like, it really comes down to like trusting that what you have done is complete and perfect and will heal back to perfection. And like, I feel like with any modality or any like operation you've had, or just anything like therapy that you've had, that it is working and you are going to be back, like healing back to, you are healing back to perfection or back to perfect health or whatever resonates. And you know what I want to share is, like, I'm sure you've all heard of the placebo effect, and there's so many studies on this, and I even heard one, like, and I don't know who I heard it from. I probably should, I'll look it up and see if I can find the link for you around, like, even people that had had knee surgery, and some of them didn't have the surgery, and they healed based on their belief that they had the surgery. So like, there's just so many studies, and I just feel like it's, you know, it just really comes down to the power of you as a believer and a creator of your own reality and destiny, and what, you know, what you want to be, like what you want to achieve, what, you know, what you want your body to be like healthy or whatever. If there's any other questions you'd like me to clarify for you around healing, please let me know in the comments, and I will share with you and do another video on answering your questions around healing. All right, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and thank you.